Hey, everybody. How's it going? We're finally back. We have had a couple of weeks in between, and I promised that the next episode was going to be amazing. It was going to be a big topic, and this is probably one of the biggest. So I saved a good one for us today. Welcome to the It's Not You pod, the place where your symptoms finally make sense. I'm Jackie Koza, perimenopause fat loss coach. I spent 15 years coaching figure skating before my own hormonal shift rewrote everything I knew about my body. Now I help women like you burn fat, fix the fatigue, drop the bloat, and stop buying the bullshit that this is just your age. If your body's been acting differently, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. So today's episode is about when healthy isn't working and recognizing when your body is pushing back. Okay, it's a big topic. It's probably in my top 3 of the things that I talk about with you ladies very regularly. Clients, just people reaching out to me with questions and, why isn't this working? When I work with a client who's resistant to change, a lot of times we don't realize the change that we need to make. And, that's where I come in as your coach. And I have those tough conversations with you because, you've been living this way all this time, but if it was working, then you would need me here, right? So let's talk about this, because if you've ever said, but I'm doing everything healthy, why isn't this working? You're not alone. Lots of people say it. Probably everyone says that at some point in their life, right? It's one of the most common frustrations that women share with me. You eat clean, you track your steps, you choose whole foods, you cut back on sugar, you lift weights, you're drinking more water, you're doing all the things that you are supposed to do, but your body still feels stuck. Nothing's moving, and it's confusing, it's frustrating, and honestly, it feels very unfair. And I'm with you on that. But your frustration doesn't mean that you're failing. It just simply means things have evolved and what was working before isn't working now. Let me say that again. It simply means that you have evolved and what was working before isn't working now. So I understand that 10 years ago you did this and it worked and you lost weight, you looked muscular, you felt less stress from this particular workout. You need to be on the fly. Therefore, you're going to eat 200 calories today because your kids have a busy schedule and they're, in a sports game and they have to do this, and you're even nourishing yourself with more than 200 calories comes first, it's not going to work anymore. And it doesn't matter how much you will it into existence, it's not going to work anymore. And I'm going to share this with you. I do not like fish. I hate fish. Like, it's not my thing. And I actually joke that I'm a Pisces, therefore fish are my people. And I don't want to be eating my own people because it's kind of cannibalistic when you think about it in a very esoteric way. But that's not what it is. I just don't like fish. But guess what? I eat tuna. I make space for it. I don't eat tuna every day. One, it's not even good for you because of the mercury. But two, like, I fit it in. Like, I find a way to fit it in. And I don't like it at all. Does it make me gag? It used to. But I need to eat it. 100%. Like, I need the omega-3s and I need it where it's bioavailable. And tuna happens to be the fish that repulses me the least. So I do it. I call it functional nutrition. Am I saying you have to eat the grossest thing every single day of your life? No, but like we have to stop being 5 about it. We were 5 already, and our parents are like, no, you have to eat your broccoli. Well, here we are. You know, you don't want to eat your broccoli, you don't like spinach, you don't like this, like I don't like fish. Let me just not have fish, and let me just not eat omega 3s, and let me just make my hormones worse. I mean, come on, guys. Healthy is not a universal concept, but we have to consider aligning it. What supports your body in one season can totally stress your body in another. Okay. And your 20 something body could tolerate more intensity, skipping meals, sporadic routines, undersleeping, and more stress. The old I'll sleep when I'm dead nugget. No more. No more. Your body in midlife has a different physiological landscape that we've all got to consider. Okay. And when you apply those outdated healthy habits to your system that's evolved, your body doesn't respond with results. It responds with pushback. And if you keep insisting you'll skip over peri or deny anything's even happening, your body may stage an all-out rebellion. Like, who's a fan of the mysterious weight gain that won't go away? I have all this inflammation. I have frozen shoulder. I have frozen hip. I keep taking an Advil. It's not working. It's not going to work. Like, you're not addressing the symptoms. Like, you're not treating that root cause place that it's coming from. You're just ignoring the fact that you're in midlife. And P.S., what worked in peri may not work in menopause, because there's been a shift from peri to menopause also. So I realize it's very frustrating, but the more you ignore it, the more you're frustrating yourself. Okay. The metabolic pushback that your body gives you can look like fatigue, bloat, mood swings, hunger spikes, cravings, stalled fat loss, slower recovery, no progress, feeling puffy, feeling inflamed. That's just some of the things. Okay. Not everybody has all the things, but some people can have lots of those things, and other people can have 1 or 2 of those things. I'm not saying that there's like a blanket statement for this. What I'm saying is it's time to listen to your body. Not because your habits are bad, but because they're not aligned with your body of today. And that's what we're talking about here with Anywhere Fit, your body of today. Examples of what that misalignment looks like are things such as under eating that becomes stress on your body, over cardio becomes stress on your body, skipping meals becomes stress on your body, too much intensity becomes stress on your body, low protein becomes stress on your body. So in the Metabolic Revival Blueprint, we start literally with tracking how much protein you're getting in a food diary, because guess what? We need to reduce the stress on your body. And 100% of the clients that I have worked with have come to me under eating protein. And while I'm not assuming you're under eating protein, it's highly likely that you are. And that's why we do the food diary to begin with. So I've heard all the things. You're a mom and your kids come first, so you didn't have time to eat more than a protein bar because you had a game to get to. And the workout you've been doing for years is your stress relief, and you refuse to give it up, even though it's totally stressing your system. And you know how you told me you don't eat this, you don't like this, your family only eats this, you don't have time to meal prep, and you don't want to try new recipes or foods. Well, your body isn't rejecting your effort in being a mom, feeding your family, doing all the things. Your body isn't rejecting your effort. It's just rejecting the misalignment of all these things. Okay. So even though you feel like you're doing the healthy things, you're misaligned, and we just have to look at adjusting habits that clearly do not serve your goals. So this is where we have to make a choice, right? We have the opportunity to make the shift in identity so that we align more where our body is today, who our body has become today. Because look, you're not the woman whose body just doesn't respond. You're the woman whose body is asking to be supported differently. Okay. You're meant to follow a different set of rules now. You're not meant to follow rules from younger you. Okay. You got to lead yourself with the wisdom of who you are now. Health in your 20s meant discipline, but healthy in this era means alignment. Okay. It used to also mean less, but now it means supported. You need to be supported. Healthy also used to mean that you could burn more, right? Burn that candle at both ends. But healthy now means managing stress levels. So let's shift the negative self-talk here this week from saying, I guess my body just hates me, because it doesn't. It doesn't. It's really just misaligned with where you need to be right now, right? So let's shift that to my body is communicating and I'm going to listen. And here's what I'm going to task you with. Write that statement on a Post-it note. My body is communicating and I'm going to listen. Write it on a Post-it note. Stick it on your bathroom mirror where you're going to see it every morning after you wake up and every night before you go to bed. And keep reading that Post-it. Okay. Which healthy habit have you been forcing, even though your body is clearly pushing back? Let that guide what your 1% shift looks like this week. And if you're a client, bring this into your check-in this week. I want to see where this is showing up for you personally. All right. And if you're listening in and this hit home, your next step is very simple. Get your wellness IQ, comment or DM me IQ, and I'll send you the quiz so you can finally understand what your body has been trying to tell you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the It's Not You pod. And remember, I'm here every Monday at noon Eastern. Bring a friend, share this with a woman who needs to hear this, and I will see you next week.